big and bad the enemies of your life may be, I still get the last word. Yeah. God says when the dust settles and the smoke clears, I'm still going to have folk wondering who in the world is your God. And they're going to want to know your God and get to know your God because I will be exalted among the heathen. Now, that's the folk who don't even know me, who don't even like me, who don't even come to church, who don't even worship. They're going to look at you and they're going to wonder who your God is. Oh, I know I'm telling the truth. I just saw it a couple weeks ago. Dr. Ned Howard, I just saw it a couple weeks ago. It was a wonderful thing. While I was in my boy's hospital room, we were waiting on surgery number 3. We were waiting on surgery number 3, and the ENT, the ear doctor who was supposed to work on it, had told us the day before that she specializes in handling the ear. My boy's had a significant ear infection that has permeated much of his head, and he has been very consumed with this, and it's caused him so much pain over these past weeks. It's just literally ear infection that has exploded in his brain. And now in his head, and now he's dealing with this reality. And this woman comes in and she says, don't worry about it. I can handle this surgery. They call me the ear girl. I said, all right, ear girl, because my boy got an ear problem. And I need the ear girl to handle my boy's ear problem. And she said, no problem, I can handle it. The next day she comes and they put him on what is known as the add-on list. The add-on list is when you are not already scheduled for surgery. We weren't scheduled weeks out. It is just something we know we need you to have. And so we're going to put you on the add-on list, and you'll be brought into the operating room as soon as we can get you a space. Well, brothers and sisters, the day had come. We're ready for the surgery. Morning passes. Nobody calls for my son. Gets to the afternoon, nobody calls for my son. It's the middle of the afternoon, nobody calls for my son. Around 5 o'clock, the ear girl comes in. And Doc says, I hate to let you know, I got to leave. My shift is over. And I got, what? That's what I said. And I said, my shift is over. And I cannot stay any longer. I got to get out of here. I've been here all day long, and I'm going home. She said, my shift is over. I got to leave. I said, all right. So she walked out the room. I picked up my phone. I started texting some folk that I know, a brother that I know who's a member of this church. Big baller shot call at the hospital. I'm glad I know people. I said, ear girl said she can't do the surgery because it's time for her to go. 5 minutes later, ear girl walked back into the room. Wait. Watch what ear girl said. Ear girl said, I don't know who you praying to, but an operating room just opened and I'm going to take your boy down in just a few minutes. That's not the best part of the story. The best part of the story was Miss Cosby said, well, sit down. If you got 5 minutes, I'll tell you who my God is so you can get happy about it too. Oh, is there anybody in this church this afternoon who knows that God will put you in position where you can show your God off? You can talk about how wonderful he is, talk about how amazing he is, talk about how awesome he is. I need 10 people in here to exalt him among the heathen. Oh, I feel like lifting him up. Come on, Tonto, let's ride. I feel like hollering one good time and I'll be out of here. He says, I will be exalted among the heathen, but he also says, I'll be exalted in the earth. The connotation here, Ram Stephen, is that he's not just going to be exalted among folk who don't know him. He's going to be exalted among folk who do know him. It literally connotes that everybody who's got a relationship with him, watch this, is going to have a reason to celebrate God in public. And I need some folk in here who refuse to be a part of the Secret Service saints to help me right through here. I need some people in here who refuse to be covert ops Christians to help me give God some glory on a Sunday afternoon because he's going to be exalted among his people in this world. I saw it happen. One last story. I'm out of your way. I saw it happen right there in my boy's room. My boy was in almost a fetal position for about 8, 10, 12 days. Had such severe pain. Wouldn't open his eyes because the white light was bothering him, pain all in his head. And he was just laying there, somewhere teetering between affliction and depression. Day after day, he didn't want to do much talking. If you know Matthew, you know he's always the star of the show. He wants to make sure that you understand that he is in the room. This boy was laying in his bed, not wanting to talk, not wanting to do anything. Tubes coming all out of his body. He's laying there, and while he's laying there, everybody's looking at him, bemoaning his situation. Because this 12-year-old boy shouldn't have to deal with this kind of pain. And then Wednesday of last week, big brother, Wednesday of last week, we walk into the room. Matthew's up out the bed. And he's walking around, eyes open, talking to us. Although his voice is muted because his sickness has taken away the volume in his voice, he's talking to us. And we're having a good time in conversation. We go up to the kids zone in the hospital. He gets some paint, and now he becomes the next Picasso of the world. My man didn't have any artistic ability before we went in the hospital. He'd been painting stuff for the last 3 days. He gave me a picture of the Lion King setting, and I looked back at him and I said, Hakuna Matata, my brother. Where my Lion King fans? It's a problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Means no worries. Means no worries. He painted this beautiful picture of the Lion King. He's painting all these paintings. It's a wonderful thing. And doctors are looking at him and say, hey, Matthew, how in the world you feeling? He said, I'm feeling all right. And looking at him, and they're amazed at this boy who's now walking around. Well, for the last several days, he's just been laying there in the bed. I said, Matt, you got to give God praise. Because God knows how to do wonderful things suddenly. Oh, my. I said, he does wonderful things suddenly. Now, that shouted me, but it didn't shout him. Matthew looked back at me. He said, that may be true, but some things God does eventually. I'm done. I'm heading to the table, but I need somebody in this church who understands that my praise is not predicated on when he does it. My praise is determined by who is the one who is doing it, and whether he does it suddenly or eventually, I'm going to praise him continually. And is there anybody in this building this afternoon who can help me close this message and begin to celebrate the God who still works miracles? I can't tell you when he's going to fix your situation. I can't tell you when he's going to work your circumstance out. But whether he does it suddenly or eventually, he's still worthy to be praised. So I need somebody on a Sunday afternoon to help me lift up Jesus. I need somebody to help me glorify God. And stretch out your arms, open up your mouth, and say, anyway, you bless me, Lord, I'll be satisfied. Is there a witness in this church that God can do it however he chooses to do it? I don't know when he's going to work it out. I don't know how he's going to work it out. But since I know he's able to work it out, he may not come when I want him, but he'll always be right on time. Won't he do was sent to encourage this afternoon. But I need you to know that your God has capable hands. And his word to you and to me is, be still and know that I am God. And I will be exalted. I will be exalted. I will show you my power. I will get the glory. There will be glory after this. There will be victory after this. Come on, is there anybody who believes it? God's gonna turn it around. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? He will bring you out. There will be glory after this. said, listen here, don't